Hi everybody and welcome back to Rebuilding Newcastle, the series where we try and win the Champions League with Newcastle United, and today we're proper up and running in trying to reach that goal. We've got our first Champions League knockout match. We're in March. You last saw us before the January transfer window, so plenty has happened. We've spent about 100 million and bought back in about 75 million pounds in player sales, so a lot has gone on in the January transfer window. We're playing great, the league is heating up, we're getting towards the end of that. We've got loads to get into, so let's get into it. Hello everybody, Jake here, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel if you're new. As I mentioned at the start, today is huge. We are playing Nice in the Champions League. It's the first knockout round. We've already had the first leg, which was off camera. I'll let you know how that's gone and how our league form is going too, because as you can see here in the bottom left, we're not top of the league, but we're still competing up there and it's getting very close with less and less games left of the Premier League season. Certain players have performed well, but I imagine the things that you guys are going to be interested in the most are the transfers that have happened, because we have spent money and we have sold plenty of players who, they're not just fringe players. I think some of the players we've sold you might be a bit surprised about, but I felt like the squad needed a little bit of a boost in certain positions and we had a bit too much depth in others, so it was worth selling a few of the players that we hadn't really used this season, buying some players that are really going to contribute. You get the idea. We've got plenty to get into, but before we do, I'd just like to ask you guys, if you can, hit the like button on this video. It really does, like if you actually look at the analytics of it, it really does help in pushing these videos out to as many people as possible. And the more eyes we can get on the series, the better. Comment down below who you think is going to win this match, or if you just want to comment down below anything about real life football or anything in general, it's always nice to speak to you guys. There's a Discord link down below where we're very close to 200 members now, so whoever joins next might be the 200th member of our Discord. And subscribe if you haven't already. We're getting super close now to that 5,000 mark, which I'm so excited for. And that's pretty much it, although I do want to say a big thank you, because I did mention in the last video that one of my videos beforehand got a fair few dislikes. Now the main reason I was speaking about that was because I'd much rather prefer if someone dislikes the video, let me know in the comments what I can actually improve to make it better in your eyes, as opposed to hitting the dislike button. But you guys came to massive support in the last video anyway in the comments, saying like, ignore them, we love the videos, and some really nice stories as well. So I just want to say a massive thank you to you guys for the support there. I've stopped trying to say thank you as often as I do, but yeah, I just want to say a big thank you there, because it did mean a lot seeing all the support that came out of that. But don't worry, we're all good, we're not going anywhere. I'm loving making videos, and who knows, maybe this Newcastle series could be in its final season. I don't know how well we're going to do in the Champions League. I'd expect not, but who knows. Yeah, I'm going to get right into it. I'll stop wasting any more of your guys' time. So we'll start off with our form. As you can see in the league table, we are 3 points off the top of the league. However, top place Manchester United have a game in hand, so assuming they'll win that, which they probably will because they've been winning pretty much everything recently, they'll be 6 points ahead of us with 10 games left to go. It's going to be hard to keep up with them and hope that they drop points. I don't even know if we're playing them. I hope we are. If we're playing them, at least it's kind of in our hands. We do, away towards the end of the season, but yeah, plenty of time has gone by since the last episode, which was that 3-0 win against Manchester United, where I thought, you know, we've had some great form since then, but I just thought us knocking Manchester United 3-0 in a game like that would hopefully knock them off their perch a bit. It did not, but we did get our revenge from the 8-1 loss to Manchester City by beating them 4-2 in the league. Vlahovic getting 2, Edwards getting 1, and Akanji on the score sheet. Then, annoyingly, we followed it up with a draw against Villa, but it's been wins pretty much all the way through since then. We did lose against Liverpool in the Cup, and we also drew to Liverpool in the league, but away at Anfield, I'm not too fussed about that. Wins pretty much everywhere else, other than a draw to Chelsea, which we were 2-0 down, so I will take a 2-2 draw. You might be seeing a scorer on the score sheet that we'll talk about in a second who is new to the club, but the important one is this away match to Nice, which was the first match in this Champions League tie, where we beat them 2-0, an early and a late goal from Vlahovic, giving us that 2-0 advantage away from home. I don't think away goals count anymore, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they don't, so it's pretty much going to be a one-off game where we've got a 2-0 advantage at home, should get us through into the next round, the quarter-final, and yeah, I have no complaints about how we're playing at all, and some of the new players that have joined the team have settled in brilliantly, so I think that's the thing we'll talk about next, the new signings that we have made. So let's start off with who we brought in. So if I sort by date, which I think we already have, first signing of the transfer window was pretty much the majority of my budget at the time, and that was £78 million for Dominic Szoboszlai. Again, just tell me in the comments how to pronounce it if anyone knows. We signed him from Leipzig, where he's been doing fairly well, but his attributes, his potential that it's shown on his scout report, and even if it says that he doesn't have much more potential than what he's got, I still think he's going to be a top player for us. Physicals, perfect, mental's perfect, technical is really good too. He's likely going to partner James Ward-Prowse in the middle and challenge Basuma for the starting, guaranteed starter next to Ward-Prowse, and he's done really well so far. Since signing, he's played 7 games, scored 3 for us and assisted 1, and that's just the league, a 7.23 average match rating overall. I think that will be money well spent on the Hungarian. Then, and we'll talk about why we signed him in a second, Cesar Azpilicueta has joined the club for £1.4 million. I think that's a perfect bit of business, offers cover in a variety of positions along the back line and allowed us to get a few other players out the door. Barbosa has signed, I don't know why I said it like that, Gabriel Barbosa. I have no clue. I said it like he was a pirate. Anyway, the Brazilian 26-year-old has joined us. He is going to be our backup striker this season for Vlahovic. The scout report looked brilliant. He's played fairly well for us so far. No complaints about this guy whatsoever, and he's fairly happy to be, it says regular starter, but I think he'll be fine being a backup, whereas some players like Callum Wilson did want to leave the club to apparently win trophies and get more game time, which, yeah, game time I can kind of see, but he played a fair bit. It's the trophies thing that confused me, because where is he going to go that's going to win trophies? And I can tell you the club he went to did not have any chance of winning trophies this season. And Alejandro Bolde has joined us on loan from Barcelona with an option to buy. It could turn out to be a great signing for us as a backup left-back option to Windle in the long term, who has just cemented himself as that first-choice left-back. So we brought him in on loan to see how he does. Then it comes to the sales, and I was kind of just looking to raise funds to improve the squad in a variety of positions. And Zeki Selic, because of the fact we've got Michele as the right-back and we had Tolisso as the backup to him, I think it was okay to let Zeki Selic go. We had a few problems with Champions League registration of getting everyone registered, so some players are going to have to leave and we had to shrink the squad in some way. Zeki Selic has left, made a £10 million profit on him. He hasn't done great for us in the last season, this season should I say. He's been fine, but he's not really set the world alight, and after moving to Wolfsburg it hasn't really gone great for him either, so maybe we're thankful that we're rid of him for that much money. It seems like we got the right kind of value out of him. And that was our backup right back leaving the club. And then, like I said, after Windle performed so well, we got a bid straight away in the transfer window pretty much for Grimaldo from Real Madrid. And the fact that Bolde was available on loan, we have Gareth Bale who can technically play there, Mukiele and players like that can perform at left back if needed. I thought, you know what, we can probably let Grimaldo go. He's a great player, don't get me wrong, he did fine for us, but I don't know. I just think this season, Windle has really shown us what our left back should be able to do in our system. And I think we let him go to Real Madrid. It's a good move for him. It's a good move for us. It gave us some money to spend elsewhere. With Aspi's cover on both sides and Bolde's availability on the left as well, I think it means that we can let Grimaldo go, bring in a combined £50 million for our backup left back and right back, make a profit on them both, and be happy with that. I then also saw that Sean Longstaff was still out on loan, so we thought, why not bring him back and sell him straight away? Loads of £5 million offers for him after a fairly decent time in the Championship, but that's as good as he is. And he's gone to join Mainz out in Germany, where it's probably his level. He was a homegrown talent, but let's be real, he was going to be nowhere near our first team. Similarly, Ruben Loftus-Cheek had a few injury problems. I enjoyed using him in that first season, but this second season we didn't get much time to use him because of his injury problems, and when he did play he didn't really make me think, yeah, you need to be in the team. With the signing of Szoboszlai and Tolisso coming in last season, it just didn't look like there was going to be a place for him in our team anymore, so I thought we'll sell him on. We took a bit of a loss, but after pretty much 30 games for the club, I think it's fine to lose out on £1.5 million, and we sold him to £4 million to Sassuolo, where hopefully he'll do great. I can't say it, I'm not going to try anymore. Sassuolo, there we go, I did try again, and eventually I got there. Then probably the one that might cause the biggest concern would be Callum Wilson leaving to Southampton, but my thinking was I wasn't going to extend his deal if it was ending in a couple of years' time any more than he already had, because he was fairly old. Barbosa was available for the price that we could pretty much sell Wilson for, and I think it makes sense. He's 31, yes he's English, but we get rid of him now. He did great for us, but getting rid of him means that Barbosa can come in. As you can see this season, Barbosa has done way better than Wilson has done. He goes to Southampton in the Championship, where he's only just scoring a goal every 3 games in the league, which I think it shows again his level at this point in time. He could definitely be a Premier League striker still, but I think it's good move on our part just to improve the squad all round, get rid of some of the deadwood that wasn't playing too much, shrink the squad a little bit, and also improve it. And improve it we have, because we've been playing really well recently. Certain players have been blowing my mind really, particularly, and he's not going to appear very high here, but Owen Windle, he has really, really impressed me since he's joined us. I mean, 14 games in the Premier League, 2 goals, 4 assists from left back, 2 player of matches, 7.3. I don't think that really does him justice, because he really has just Like I love that output from the left back position. It's where I used to play back in the day. If you watched the Lille series last year, Aaron Martin smashed it from there. I wanted something like that, and Windle has impressed me so much since joining. So I would never have thought we'd let Grimaldo go at the start of the season, but we played so well that it's worked out great. Nyanzu, again, is another player who's playing amazing. Finally, Vlahovic is getting into real good scoring form. I mean, 18 games played in the league, 10 goals, 2 assists and a 7.21. We're doing awesome. Everything is going great. Now, realistically, with this end of the season coming up, if we look at the schedule that we've got, it's going to be tough because there's a fair few away games, but Brentford could be a win. Everton away could be a win. It's basically, we need to get up to this Manchester United game here and be at least 3 points within them, at which point if we win that, we're going to be pretty much level. Then we've got some hard games to finish off the season, but hopefully we can get there, and you'll see a bit more of that as we go on. But I think the Premier League, we could do it, but I wouldn't say it's super likely. The Champions League though, I've got a fair bit of faith that we can at least get to a semi-final, because if we get through here against Nice, which I expect we will, and I might be, biting my tongue later afterwards if we do go and lose, but Nice should be a win for us, realistically. Then it looks like currently Feyenoord might go through, who I think we can take. Benfica we could take. PSG, City, Barca, we'd want to avoid any of them really. But it looks like Ajax and Inter, we could probably challenge both of them in a match. Juventus as well, looks like they might knock out Man U, which would be a great result for us. Liverpool being knocked out. There is faith for us here, and who knows what we could do. I'm just excited to see what goes on really. I don't know who we're going to get drawn against, but I think it's about time we get into the match. I've wasted enough of your guys' time looking around the club. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of that transfer window. Let me know what you thought of the signings down below and where you think we still need to improve. I did look for an improvement on Weigl, who had a £50 million offer from Arsenal come in, but I thought, you know what, I couldn't find anyone out there for that value who would do better than him. That's probably a summer transfer window job when we've got a lot more in the budget, and we can really just hone in on improving a couple of positions in the squad that are maybe lacking. But today we're going with Livakovic in goal, Mukiele at right back with Nyanzu and Badashile at the back. That's probably a position now where I'm looking to improve, because Badashile looks like he's found his level. It looks like he'll only get to a 4-star player. Even though he plays really well, attributes-wise, we could probably do better than him. Windle at left back, Weigl, Szoboszlai and Prowse in the midfield with Rafinha, Thuram and Vlahovic. I think we're going to do great. Is there anyone else I'd like to put on the bench? Probably Basuma for Woodman. I don't need a backup goalie on the bench. I never do. Never happened to me just yet. This will be the game where it does so. Never had a goalkeeper get injured or red carded, thankfully, in Football Manager. It just doesn't happen often, I don't think. Let me know if it's ever happened to you, but I don't think I've ever seen it in my years of playing. But now it's time to get into the game. 2-0 advantage. We should hopefully come out of this feeling quite comfortable with a nice win against a Champions League opposition. Okay, we're off here in the game. I pretty much just want to keep it comfortable. It doesn't have to be a 4-0 smashing. I just want to make it a nice, easy game for us. And we are forced into an early substitution there with Thuram picking up a bit of a knock, 2-0 up in the Champions League. I don't think it's worth risking him getting hurt anymore. For any of you who are a long viewing member of the channel, you might remember my proper series where I branched out after my trial Chelsea series in FM20, I think it was with Vitesse, and finally I've managed to get myself a Vitesse shirt. It's from 2006, I think. Long sleeve, is massive on me. Goalkeeper shirt pretty much. It's not, but it looks like a goalkeeper shirt. Oh no, I'll talk about what's happened on the goal in a second, but yeah, I'm really happy that I finally got one, and I think it's quite a cool little memento after we did have that Vitesse series years ago. But my confidence might have been misplaced, because as well as we've been playing, they've decided as soon as we got on camera, we're going to let Nice score an early goal just to make it interesting, that's all. I just want to give you guys a bit of entertainment. I'm sure we're going to be fine. Dolberg, who is probably Nice's best player, alongside Attal, who pretty much created the goal. They're probably going to be the ones that we need to look out for. I don't actually know how Nice are doing in the French league, but hopefully we can reply with a quick goal here. If Nice score another, I'll be very annoyed and I'll start to get a little bit worried. Here is Attal, the one that we were talking about. Todibo, again, he's a good player. Cliver, that's not a bad old Football Manager Wonderkid. You know what, maybe they've got a better team than I gave them credit. And we go closer with Rafinha. That would have been nice to get an early reply, but it doesn't look like that's going to be so. But 20 minutes in, and it's not looking like the world's easiest game so far. Let me just quickly find out where Nice are in the French division. Obviously, they've qualified for the Champions League, so they must have done okay last season. This season, they're sitting in 4th place, so they must have got in the top 3 last year. Doesn't look like they're going to do it this year, but they are a fairly decent club. Only PSG and Monaco absolutely smashing PSG in the league. That's great to see. Where are Lille? Lille are in 10th. That's really harsh to see. But yeah, Monaco. Who have they got that's doing so well for them? I don't know, but they are smashing PSG in the league. Monaco aren't actually in the Champions League, I don't think. They're not left in the competition at least. PSG are, however. Maybe they're not as good as I would have thought. Maybe we could take them in a game. Here is Windle, though, doing what he does best. He's set through Maximan, who has been brought down. That's definitely a foul. Definitely a penalty. And I think we're about to see a Vlahovic goal. Barbosa, who joined us, by the way, has 20 penalties. So if we get a penalty shootout in the Champions League ever, you can be sure that we're bringing him on to take the final spot kick. But here we go. Penalty awarded, as I expected. It should be Vlahovic. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Yeah, here we go. He's been very good with them recently. I don't think he's actually missed one. Oh, he's been sent off. Hold on. Atar's been sent off for that. That's a great result for us, because not only is he one of their best players, but I don't think it was a red card at all. I thought he just kind of bundled him over. I didn't think that was going to be a straight red, but we'll take that. That's going to really help our cause in this game. Now, if we make it 1-1, Vlahovic never misses. There you go. He's planted it in the corner. That's probably his 17th goal. I was going to say 20th, but he must be getting towards that now. Yeah, that's great, because not only are we now level in the game and comfortably ahead on aggregate, they've got 10 men, so for the next 60 minutes, hopefully it's a bit of Newcastle dominance. I mean, based on the fact their XG isn't very high, I think the goal they scored was a bit out of luck and probably against a run of play. Ward-Prowse could seal the deal with a free kick here straight after. What a goal. James Ward-Prowse, I'm telling you, his attributes are like David Beckham in this Football Manager. He is awesome, set-piece wizard, and he's great in Game 2. What a goal that was. I thought it was going to go to the keeper, but it just kept curling and curling. It goes into the corner. Straight after that red card, we've managed to score from 2 set pieces, a penalty and a free kick, and we are going to cruise now, hopefully, to a 3-4, 5-1 win, just to make us look really good on camera. Here's Weigl to Jobazlai, who almost scores on camera after recently signing for us. Would have been good for that to happen, but Dolberg does look like he might have a chance on the counter, but I think he's ran himself into a bit of trouble. Nice have done well here building this team. It's not a bad squad at all. Fair play to them, but I think that red card is a bit harsh on them, to be honest, and I don't expect anything else from them in this game. The fact that this highlight hasn't ended, though, means we might have a chance, and it's Vlahovic again. Oh, what a finish. It's going to get ruled out for offside by the looks of it, but hopefully with VAR it can count, because that was a brilliant goal. Just the way that he just lofted that over the goalie. Please tell me it's counted. Goal awarded. What a goal from Vlahovic. Great play from Maximan, who has actually been asking to leave the club because I haven't been using him as often as Thuram. But he came in here and he's had a great game so far. But, oh, brilliant. Left foot chip over the goalie. 3-1 up. Vlahovic scoring 2 on camera. Hopefully he'll get a hat-trick. This has been a great half. Yes, we conceded early on from a little bit of luck, but I think we were probably going to dominate the game anyway. And that red card's just made it even easier. We can't really go wrong from here. That's probably most famous last words ever, but, you know, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. Let's make it 4-1. Jobazlai, just before half-time, finds Vlahovic. It's a goal for Vlahovic. It's an assist for Szoboszlai, and I'm saying his name differently every time I say it. Hat-trick for Vlahovic in the first half. He has been a proper good signing, because there was a point, if you scroll back a couple of videos ago, maybe even last video, I was worried about how he was playing, because he just wasn't scoring the goals that I wanted to. He was playing well, but just not scoring, like assisting other people and that kind of thing. And just getting generally overall good average match ratings. But now he started to add the goals to his game. He scored a hat-trick here. He's been scoring loads recently, and we are smashing it. I don't think that's offside either from Badashile. I think that's going to count. It's a great ball in from Ward-Prowse as well. I don't think that was offside at all. I could be wrong. Goal awarded. I was right. I have eagle-eye vision here. Ward-Prowse, great ball in, and it's actually 5-1 before half-time. We are, you know, we're on track for 10. And there's another highlight before the end of the half. Oh, this is brilliant. I'm going to wear this for test shirt every time. I've been praying to Danny Drinkwater off camera. If you don't know, we've got a signed photo of Danny Drinkwater there that my friend got me years ago. And even though he's not, I say years ago, probably only about a year ago now, but it feels like ages. Even though he's arguably one of the worst players to ever put on a Chelsea shirt. Ever since we had him here, we just started winning. So we prayed to Danny Drinkwater after that 8-1 defeat to Manchester United. And it's going great. And another VAR goal has gone our way. We are 6-1 up. It's Rafinha. It's another assist for Maximan. It's a great ball through from him. Brilliant ball, actually. And Rafinha takes it fantastically on the volley with that right foot into the top corner. What a half of football. Harsh on Nice to have that red, but, you know, we're going to take advantage of this now. We're just going to build up momentum so that we can put a marker out in the Champions League and also in the Premier League to say, you know what, we're not here to mess around. We are coming for this. And yeah, these might be our good luck signs. The Dan Drinkwater poster, my Vitesse shirt, 60 minutes in, and I think we're just going to protect some of the players who I need to protect, basically. So Vlahovic with a hat-trick, you can come off, and we'll get Barbosa some Champions League minutes. Ward-Prowse has played really well, but I think he can come off now for Basuma, get him some game time. and that's all that we're going to be allowed after the early substitution for Maximan onto Thoram. And we'll probably just cruise this out now. I wouldn't mind a 6-1 win, but if we can go all the way for 10, I'll be very happy with that. There's no point using any shouts or anything. I don't want to mess anything up. We are perfectly fine the way we are. And this just goes to show this tactic. We can lose 8-1 one day, and now we're winning 6-1. I think that just on-camera defeat to Man City was something random. I don't know where it came from, but that's been the only result this season that suggested that there was some issue with this tactic. So I think overall, it's all good. And we have made it 7 now. Szoboszlai with a great pass with the outside of his boot. You can see he's just got a bit more about him in the offensive areas than Bissouma had done in that Metsala role. Actually, it was Bissouma in the box-to-box and James Ward-Prowse in the Metsala, but I always wanted Ward-Prowse to play the box-to-box. It was just that Bissouma was best suited to that position as well. With Szoboszlai coming in, I keep saying his name different every time, but with him coming in, it means that we can just kind of play about with it whichever way we feel, whatever works best, we can do that. And he's done great in the midfield in terms of just linking up the midfield and the attack with some creative passing. Here is Windle again, who is having another great game at the back for us. Everyone playing well today. I genuinely think we could be on for a 10-1 win here. If we can make it 8 now, then we've got 20 minutes to score 2. Here's Maximan. Played through by Windle, into the box. It's headed away from Rafinha, who, again, it was another great finish from him in that last goal. Szoboszlai, just wide of the goal. It would have been nice for him to score on camera. Or maybe Barbosa, who, even though he's played really well for us and scored a few goals, that's pretty much what he does. He is the finisher. He's not as involved as Vlahovic is, but he does just finish the chances perfectly, which is what you want, really. I know a few of you have been calling out for me to sign him in the comments for a while. Oh, that is so unselfish from Szoboszlai. But Barbosa, who I said was the finisher, has missed a fairly easy chance there. But Nice are being completely dominated, not just as playing well, but they've done nothing of their own in terms of scoring goals. I'm going to praise them just to raise up a bit of that morale, maybe get an extra goal, maybe make it 8-1. But it seems like 7-1 is going to be our limit. 9-1 on aggregate. Great performance across both legs. Can we make it 10-1 on aggregate? Can we hit 10? Here is Windle. He finds Bissouma. Bissouma crosses it in. Gabriel Barbosa goes and puts it in the back of the net with a great finish on his left foot. That's going to end the game. 8-1 to us. 10-1 on aggregate. What a performance on camera for you guys. There you go. You saw us lose 8-1. Now you've seen us win 8-1. Life is good. Everything is back to normal. We're through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, which is likely when I'm going to bring it back. Then probably semi-final, end of the Premier League, final of the Champions League, if we ever got that far. Predicting that we stick in it for that long, I don't think we will, but if we do, that's how we'll set it out. So I think Champions League will take priority, but I will definitely show you how the Premier League season heats up towards the end. £8 million we've made there. FFP were passing as well, by the way, which was something we were struggling with, but having sold a fair few players in the most recent window and spread out that Szoboszlai transfer on a few instalments, things are going good. Actually, no, it wasn't instalments. We broke the release clause, I think, for that guy, because even though I wanted to do instalments, they wouldn't accept it. I was offering 90 million over instalments as opposed to the 78 straight up, because I didn't want to spend that straight up. But they said no, but they had to take the 78 straight up because it was a release clause. I thought it was a bit silly on their end. They could have had way more money from the transfer Leipzig, but you know what? They decided not to sell, and I can't complain about that. I will just check the schedule to see when the quarterfinal is announced. Where are we right now? Semi-final draw is here, so we'd have to go through another game or two to actually get to that point. Yeah, so you won't know who we're playing until we get there in the next episode, I guess. So that's something to look forward to. Again, a massive thank you for all the support on the videos. Dortmund are out, PSG are through. I'm not sure what's going to happen in the other games. I don't know if simulating another day, we'll see. You know what, we'll stick around for a minute. If anyone wants to stay, feel free, and we'll see what happens in the other Champions League matches. Hopefully, whenever you want it to proceed, it just does not proceed. Here we go. So Feyenoord, Milan, Benfica, Bilbao. All 4 of these teams I reckon we could take, so hopefully we get drawn against one of these tie-ups. Looks like it's going to be Benfica and Feyenoord going through, but it's Benfica and Milan who go through. Bilbao winning the way, Benfica getting a man off, Feyenoord, yeah, they've been beaten pretty comfortably there. So Milan look beatable, Benfica look like they could be beatable too. I'm very happy with that. We'll see what happens anyway. I'll leave it there, guys. So thank you for watching. Hit the like button if you did enjoy. Comment down below whatever you liked, whatever you want to see improved, anything like that. You're all awesome. Subscribe if you haven't already. 5,000 subscribers soon to be on the horizon. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.